You're listening to Rock-N-Sexxy UnCensored, bringing you the cutting edge of the entertainment world weekly, hosted by Amber Lynn.
Woohoo! All right, welcome back to another exciting episode of Rock-N-Sexxy UnCensored. We are broadcasting live tonight at the UBNGO Broadcasting Network in beautiful Burbank, California. I'm your host, Amber Lynn, and it is my great pleasure to be in the house with you guys tonight. It has been a hell of a year for absolutely everyone, and I am here to have some fun tonight, and I hope you guys are too. RNSU works overtime to bring you legendary talents from the cutting edges of the entertainment world, and guys, tonight is no exception. We have an amazing lineup in the house for you guys, but before we get started, please allow me to introduce tonight's co-host, Joe Williamson Management.
Thank you so much for that awesome introduction, and you look absolutely stunning, as always.
Well, thank you, Joe, and I'm really excited about our guests tonight.
Me too, you've got an incredible lineup.
That's right, and thank you very much for all you did to bring this show together.
Oh, it's my pleasure, and it's always an honor to be on your team.
Thank you. Thanks, Joe. Tonight, on tonight's show, we have coming up later, LA icon, billboard queen, Angelyne. I know you guys know who she is, right? She is the subject of a brand new TV biopic on the Peacock Network that stars Emmy Rossum. And I'm not sure that she's exactly happy about it. According to Inside Edition, she made some comments that she didn't think that they did her justice. So we know there is only one real Angeline, right?
The real deal.
The real deal. I've known her since the 80s, and she's going to be joining us tonight live to talk about that new biopic and a lot of other things later in the show. But here in the studio right now, joining us live, she started out as a Bob Hope classic girl. This beautiful, talented artist has had a busy, prolific career, appearing in so many projects. We couldn't pick them, the ones we wanted to talk about more, right, Joe?
It's hard.
Going over them?
So many great ones, anything from Dragnet, opposite Tom Hanks, to it's just hard to keep track of all her awesome and great projects she's got going on. One of my favorites was Hots. She was simply amazing in that
You
one.
kept talking about Hots in the car all the way here. And also, recently, The Morning Show, which is starring Jennifer Aniston and Reese Witherspoon, and it won an Emmy. So
Congratulations.
She has another movie out that is very interesting called Attack of the 50-Foot Cam Girl. I almost think that Daniel could have been the star of that movie, right? And she was in the music video I Don't Care with Justin Bieber and Ed Sheeran.
Yes, I believe so. Yes.
And
she was amazing in that. I love Lisa in that.
Many other projects we're going to be talking about with her tonight. Please welcome actress Lisa London.
Thank you so much, Amber and Joe, and I am thrilled to be here.
You're beautiful.
Thank
you
you.
for doing our show. We're so happy to have you.
Oh, my
It's
gosh, my
amazing.
pleasure.
You look up amazing in the dictionary, you'll see a picture of Lisa.
And one of the things that I held back that I didn't mention, she also apparently co-starred in a movie in 1985 with the legendary Pirates of the Caribbean star. I don't know if anybody's ever heard of him. He hasn't done anything in so long.
He hasn't been in the news in so long.
I mean, Johnny Depp. What?
Johnny who?
I haven't heard from him. What? Where has he been for so long, right?
Was one of my favorite co-stars when we did it, and will be forever. And I will always love Johnny, and he's awesome, by the way.
That's great. Thank you.
I heard that you two had a great...
Did I hear her say we did it?
I heard...
No, not at all. Okay, it's actually a really funny story, right? There's a few funny stories about that whole movie. It was called Private Resort, and it actually was shot in the Keys in Florida, so that alone was pretty amazing. It was my third film, and I think Johnny's second film. and neither one of us had ever had an on-screen kiss. So we were both really nervous that we'd have bad breath. And so Johnny said, here, and he had this humongous jawbreaker. You know, those jawbreakers, bubble gum.
Right.
So we were chewing on that and kissing, and when the director said cut, everyone was like, oh my gosh, isn't this adorable? Look at, they're so into each other. And we were like, no, our gum was stuck.
So you were like
literally.
the first screen kiss.
Yes, for both
She
of
got
us.
him when he
Yeah.
was really
Oh,
cute.
nice. So,
You, Johnny.
so what do you rate him as a kisser?
Oh, a 10, absolutely.
Oh, that's amazing. I know he's having.
There were so many amazing people in that film. It was Rob Morrow's first film, you know, Northern Exposure, and what was the one that he did about the game show that was so brilliant? Robert Redford directed it. I can't remember the name of it, but Rob's amazing always. And then Hector Elizondo was in it, Leslie Easterbrook, Michael Bowen, who was on Sons of Anarchy. I'm trying to think who
I
else
remember
was in
Michael.
it.
I think he was on Rock-N-Sexxy.
Yeah, well, he was in Magnolia too. He's a great actor.
amazing. Yeah, Kristen Renton. She was I'm a Tight on Sons of Anarchy for 7 seasons.
Got
was
it,
my
got it.
former co-host.
Gotcha.
Right.
Gotcha.
So
yeah. So
It's a
that was an
small world.
amazing film to have as your third lead. So that was amazing. And I play a drunk in it. Oh, and Andy Dice Clay. It was Andrew Dice Clay's first
I know
movie.
Andrew.
And what's so funny, he was
awesome,
an
right?
absolute doll too, and so was Johnny. So.
Yeah.
Whatever's going on in this, he said, she said, I'm going to say he said truth, and sorry. I mean,
Yeah,
I'm just
it's
saying.
been hard for me to watch, to be honest with you.
Me
and I want to
too.
bring Daniel in so he can get a part of it. And also, I just like, forget about Daniel. Daniel's a friend of mine. Okay, and also on Tap Live, media personality, makeover messiah. He started out as a celebrity hairdresser. He
Love it.
worked on all the A-list celebrities in Hollywood before moving on up to become a recording artist himself. Now he is Trax recording artist superstar. He has a brand new single out, Blondemic, which we can talk about.
Oh, that is the greatest.
What
song.
happened with
God.
that, and also was the subject of a much talked about billboard of his own in West Hollywood recently.
Yes.
Please welcome to the show,
Wow.
Daniel DeCristio.
Yes. Thank you.
Hey, Daniel.
How are you?
Give him a second applause, because I'm sure.
Congratulations on your new single.
Yay!
Well, we have Angeline coming on, right? I'm Angeline. I'm coming up.
Oh, that's right. So
Coming
they'll be
up.
like dueling. Who is the real billboard?
No,
queen,
she's the
right?
real one. She's the one.
Well,
You
Lisa
know.
was
Right.
also on a billboard too, if I remember right, by
I
Tower
was
Records.
on quite a few, but
Yeah.
my musical group was the Pinups. It
The
was actually
Pinups.
it was
How
actually
cool.
the
I didn't
biggest
mention
display.
that, and we did
Yeah.
discuss that.
It was the biggest display they ever did at Tower Records. We literally
Wow.
coated the walls, the poster, our album cover.
That
That
is
is very
amazing.
cool.
And I wasn't familiar with the pinups at that era, and we're from the same era.
That
West
was
Hollywood.
early mid '80s, and
best era.
it was one of those Andy Warhol things. Seriously, we were as famous as you could be for 15 minutes. They played our song on every game of the Lakers playoffs because Magic Johnson was the huge star, and there's a line in it that said, "You're just about magic on a magic night." And of course, my father, a sportscaster, I had made it when that song was playing during that game, which is
Wow.
pretty great.
Very
yeah,
wild.
but we're still really famous all through Europe and Japan and stuff, and people in the music industry totally know who we are. But
Are you touring?
oh, we broke up like 20 years ago. No, but
Well, so did the
Yeah.
Runaways, but they're getting
I
ready
know,
to
no.
put stuff out. They're resurrecting all of these
But
80s
Yeah,
Isn't
they
that,
are.
isn't
They
that
are.
wild, though, the
all
tower?
these 80s
because it was
and
great
90s
music.
acts that are being
it was
resurrected
such great
now.
music.
You
yeah.
know, and the truth is why? Because, and I hate to be like, I don't want knee deep in the, when I used to walk knee deep in the snow to get,
I know, I know.
to get my.
But it's true. It was happier times, and people of all ages want to be happy.
Yeah, but isn't that wild? Because I had stuff at Tower Records. They did like the wall displays on Sunset. There's no more Tower Records on Sunset.
I know.
They took down Tower Records.
Oh my God, it's like
Yeah.
unbelievable.
Well, there
but
was
that was
a-
such a great time.
Music had a culture because it was something that you held in your hands.
Totally.
I mean, now it's just like in the cyber, like our
You know
computers
what?
and everything
I absolutely
else.
agree with you.
And that's why, I mean, I'm a voracious reader. Of course, I have a Kindle, but I friggin' still love books. Can I say friggin'?
Yeah,
Sorry.
you can say
Don't
fuck.
you remember buying? Don't you
I
remember?
always just say fuck.
Don't you remember buying albums and smelling inside of them?
Yes,
Oh my God, that
and
was the
books.
best. You'd open
I
up and go,
know.
and the
You
books
would
too.
stand in the line forever, and I remember going
Absolutely.
to Tower Records on Sunset Boulevard, and like we would spend hours with like like an ice cream cone or whatever we
I
did,
know.
right?
Just to
Yes.
And
be
we would
there.
hang out in the record
know.
store and flip. Remember
Totally.
flipping
Yes.
through the
And
album,
like,
picking them up, turning
exactly.
them around,
I
you know,
know.
and then you take it
And
home.
reading the liner notes of like what the artist had to say about
Oh,
their
I know. Wasn't
music,
that great?
in a
If-
way that wasn't, like their
You just felt so
Social
connected.
media.
And if we
You
hung
felt
out
so
with
connected.
each other
I know.
at each other's crib and we wanted to like listen
Yeah.
to music together, everybody would like hold the album that we
know.
were playing or whatever. Like, and I remember
great.
Led Zeppelin, Aerosmith,
oh
all
God,
this
my
stuff,
favorites.
right?
Mhm.
And I would hold the album, and then they'd be like, "Hey, pass it," and you'd be like, "What?"
Oh.
And you know what's really
The
sad?
album,
Yeah.
not the
What's
joint.
really
The
sad
album.
nowadays, though, is that, and you know this, when you do a single, it's like not even a week. It's like so quick it goes
know.
through. And they're on to the next one, the next one, the next one. And they don't even remember them sometimes. You know how you
No.
remember those songs from the past?
Yeah.
There's nothing like that now. It's kind of sad, but
Well,
we got to
that's what-
keep moving,
It's the
though.
same with movies. The streaming of
Same
movies.
thing,
It's just like-
yes.
I know.
Same thing.
And you haven't taken any breaks in your career. You've been
I-
just working and working.
I've
right?
been pretty blessed, yeah. I mean, I started off with such insane beginner's luck because Hots, my very first film, was the female version of Animal House.
right.
And it
I
was
agree
a
with that.
huge deal. I mean, we went to the Cannes Film Festival, we toured the whole United
The
States.
little
and-
T-shirts,
And
the
it
little-
came out in real theaters, and I mean,
Right.
it was huge. And,
And you had a starring role in that.
She looked
I
like
was,
a Hooters
yeah,
Yeah, you
girl.
was
I
the
was
star.
basically
Right,
the
they
star.
probably ripped
yeah.
it off for the Hooters girl.
And it was my very first film, and I think my second or third audition ever. So it's kind of amazing.
And obviously, you can see with the beautiful freckles that she's a redhead.
Yes, a
Right.
real
And he was
one.
amazing in the
Everything
last
about
one.
And
Israel.
that
Lips, boobs,
and in a
nose,
in a
hair.
world in the 80s when everybody was like blonde with the whole
Yeah.
Motley Crue hairstyle and stuff like that, was it harder for you to like break out as a sex symbol, because you definitely were?
It wasn't, because it just like happened the minute I got here practically, and I was 19 years old, so I was very glad in retrospect that my parents didn't let me do it at 16 when I wanted to, because I was buying a Fila tennis skirt in a store in Palm Springs, and
I still have.
and when the heads
I
of
still wear
Fila
'em.
was in there, and that was my first billboard, was for Fila sportswear, and then I did a Jordache jeans, and I was modeling
Where
a lot.
was your billboard at?
It was right by Carlos and Charlie's.
Oh my
Oh
God.
I used to love Carlos and
know,
Charlie's
I
on
know.
the
Me
weekends,
too, me
right?
too,
Remember,
me too.
we probably
Yes.
knew each other.
Yes,
Probably
I
crossed
know.
paths, right?
We
all
probably
I-
did.
You're like, that was you?
The thing that I
Yeah.
miss the most about the 80s and 90s was that small town family vibe that everybody
That was the
had,
Sunset Strip.
where you
Yeah.
know, and I came up
Everything was on one street. It was on the
Yeah.
Sunset Strip.
everybody was there,
That
but
was it. I
everybody,
know.
you knew each other whether you liked it or not.
Yes.
So you might as well
Yes.
and even if you didn't love each other, we had just a different vibe that went
It was
on.
a beautiful tolerance before you were forced to be tolerant.
and maybe
Good
that's
point,
why.
good
Which is
point.
an interesting.
Good point.
Yeah.
Right.
I know.
And
Forced.
we were anarchists, and we were all
Oh,
of
God,
these things.
yes.
I was a
Yeah.
punk rocker. I was like wearing.
I
like,
was
you
a
know,
rock and roll girl.
Right?
I was yeah.
and wanted.
It was a wild
it
thing.
Was, it was all, right,
Yes.
and this was just part of our culture.
It was.
To go out and experience this and do it because for whatever reasons, we were breaking out.
Absolutely.
But we did it in a way that was just so. Non-violent, I think. We weren't.
Absolutely.
We weren't harming each other.
No,
and
or ourselves. I
and-
mean,
and
it was
coming-
really there was a weird support system. Like everyone always asks me about, some of the pitfall Hollywood smarmy stories that would have happened because everyone knows I came here so young.
Right.
But I can honestly say nothing bad ever happened to me.
Right.
And I mean, I
Well, it
was,
did, but on a level of 1 to 10 of the things you're seeing now,
exactly.
it was like,
and
I
also,
look
there's
back
little
and go,
things. Right, there were a lot of stupid little things, but did it ruin my life or affect who I was as a person, or could I not say stop at any time when I wanted to say stop?
Right.
Never anything like that.
Well, I think that sometimes lends itself to the actual person.
Yeah,
you
because
know,
if you
and
demand
you get that
respect,
fiery redhead.
exactly,
You don't mess with her.
exactly.
But
So
but it
true.
is true,
Yeah.
absolutely. And you know the other thing, and we moved on really quickly, but with the whole thing that with the things I'm seeing in the news that are surrounding Johnny Depp. You know, some people you get along with, they get along, and other
Absolutely.
people's just are like oil and water,
Totally.
and they don't belong
and
together.
that's just their thing. Here's what I say also. You can be, if you have that chemistry thing where you have this passionate, crazy, wild sex relationship, you know, you get together and then all of a sudden it starts disintegrating. And I say that you can be great people individually, but certain people bring out the best in each other. Certain people bring out the
Yeah.
worst in each other. And there's no rhyme or reason to that. And at a certain point, just grow up and just end it when it's bad.
Just end it
but
and
also
move
in this
on.
world we're in with this stupid, like everyone
Oh my God,
with the
opinions
social
everywhere.
media,
It's just
and
ridiculous.
The
Yeah.
news not letting up ever. It's just, of course, they're on steroids with their
And they
stupidity.
feed
Yes.
on they will
Right.
feed on your demise. They
Absolutely.
don't often on social media culture is that they're like, what? You know, they're getting along and they're in love unless it's like a storybook and they
I
run
know.
that whole story, but then they
Right.
want to know that there was
Yeah, but
failure.
what's
and
weird
demise.
about this social media thing, like you're saying, is that back in the day, you know, if they had a problem, there'd be like a handful of people maybe say something. Now it's
Exactly.
everybody.
Now
so you
it's
look and you
everyone.
think
And a mil-
these
and it
people
comes
you
at you from a
knew,
million
but these
different
people you
directions.
knew that were quiet
Right.
are the ones who are doing it. And you're like,
Right.
is that what you were about before this
I know.
happened? I mean, it shocks you. I mean, I'm just like, wow.
So you don't believe any of the stories about Johnny Depp being violent in the relationship? And
Yeah,
you was
just-
friends with him for
can't-
many years.
Yes, for many years after too. And also, I know a lot of people that remain friends with him when he lived in France and everything. And I cannot conceive it. That said, there have been times when producers or agents treated me with the utmost respect, and I believe my girlfriends that said they didn't. So I can't picture it. I don't believe it.
And you was friends with him for a long time. And
Yeah, I just don't believe it. But like
I don't
said,
personally know Johnny Depp. My position on the subject is that, you know, myself, and I'm really out front about it. I'm 22 years sober, and there was a time in my life when I was getting clean, you know, and things weren't working for me anymore, and I was not acting like the person that I knew I was, and you know,
it
I was
definitely
facing
sounds like
down my
drugged out
demons.
behavior on
Oh,
both
yeah.
their
And
sides.
Both
this
sides.
is
Absolutely.
Both.
a very
Takes two.
scary and frightening time in your life.
Yes.
But when somebody comes to you and they are real enough to say, I'm going through this change in my life, for me, I say, if you really do care about somebody, you say to them, I love you, I'm falling in love with you, I care about you, but I'm going to support you and stay separate until you have the opportunity to build yourself back up into the whole and complete person.
Right.
And then we can get married, and then we can do all this. But so many times in relationships, we
Is
just want
that
to take
around
each
anymore?
other hostage.
Is that around anymore, though?
Right?
Because I don't see the new generation interested in relationships at all. They're more interested in themselves.
not new
No,
generation.
I'm
He's
saying on the
old
whole,
school.
not him.
He's an old
He's old
school.
school.
He's
But I'm
very-
saying it's
yeah.
funny how
He's
we're
he's
watching
only
it.
A few years
No, I know, but
younger than
it's
me,
a different
yeah.
generation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's so many people commenting. That's what I'm trying to say.
Well, I think that, you know,
Because they're like quick, you know, like leave, go, you know, do this, do that. It's not how it is with that generation for him. You know, they're different.
yeah. Well, I hope that, you know, everything works out, you know, the way it should. And you guys aren't in touch
No,
currently,
no,
right?
not at all.
Right.
But if anyone would ask me, like you guys just did, could I conceive of him hurting anyone? No,
Right.
not physically. No.
She wasn't a violent person.
Drive you to it, though.
I know, really.
Okay, I think we've done enough on that. Yes.
Right. So let's go ahead and move on from that. So Daniel's got a new single out as well.
That was good. That was good.
Bravo, Lisa.
I know, really. That was good. That was
Right. It's hard not to open that can of worms.
It is,
because
but that's what it is.
Every
It's a
time
can
you
of
turn,
worms,
you
you
turn
know?
on the news now, and
It's funny because
I
I came very late to social media at all. I mean, you had to drag me there kicking and screaming. I'm a very private person. And what I do with my social media, and Joe and I had this discussion because people say things like, I love reading your posts. It's because all I ever do, I don't care what I'm talking about, what I'm promoting, because I use it for business. That's why I got on there.
Right.
But I try to put something beautiful, interesting, educational, informational in all the great ways, and just a unifying message every time I post, no matter what it is. That someone will go, oh my God, that's so cool. I thought that, or I'd love to see that. And I never do anything negative.
know
I figure
that
there's enough of
social
that.
media, when I first got on it, it was just like a thing to get on and kind of look at each other and say, hi, hi, hi.
It was nice, actually.
And then it became like an obsession.
Oh, I
You
know.
know, and then I was like, at some point, then it became like this attacking thing. You see animals being abused on
it's
it.
just-
I
it's-
can't handle
It's
that.
crazy.
Oh,
I like
I
to use
know.
it like you do for something that's positive, for animal
Exactly.
welfare, obviously promoting our projects. We want
Exactly.
to promote our projects, get our stuff out there, and see our friends. Sometimes I don't even see many of my friends.
I know.
Unless I log into one of the social media sites
That's
and be
true,
like,
that's
oh,
true.
hey, I haven't seen you for a while.
Exactly.
That's
And
how
like
it
with
turns.
Daniel posting pictures. He's like the TikTok master. He
I
puts
love
on
it.
all
I
this
like what
I
Lisa
haven't
told
done
me.
too
She
much.
uses it as her photo album now. She
Yeah, I
puts-
do that
You
too.
do?
No, that's,
'Cause
yeah,
I,
totally.
I love taking photographs, not just being like the subject of someone else taking my photo. I love taking my own photos.
When the
too.
camera loves you, you take a brilliant picture.
Thank you, my love. Thank
So
you.
let's talk about Attack of the 50-Foot Cam Girl.
Oh,
this is your
I'd
new
love to.
film.
Yes,
is
it
it the one
is.
that's coming out now? There's
No,
like
no,
two
no.
of
It's
them.
out and it's
Okay.
doing amazingly well. It's on Amazon Prime. It's actually on Charles Band Full Moon channel,
I know
but all you have
Charles
to do
Band.
is go on Amazon Prime and you can get it very easily. And it's one of my favorite roles ever. I got to play nerdy turning into sexy scientist, so I got to show some smarts as
I
well.
can see that.
And it's Jim Wynorski, legendary Jim Wynorski, and he is such a pro and just such a delight. He loves filmmaking like he's still like a 15-year-old kid. And
Did some
he-
iconic films like Chopping Mall, Return of the Swamp Thing.
Oh yeah,
all-
yeah. He's done a
legendary.
gazillion, and I had never worked with him before, so this was a thrill to start working with him. I first worked with him on Bigfoot or Bust, which is coming out July 5th. So if you thought there were fireworks on the 4th, wait till you see these fireworks.
And congratulations! I heard the reviews you've been getting. It's been amazing.
For Attack, yes,
Yes,
it's
yes, Attack.
insane. They ordered the sequel. I start the sequel in like a couple weeks. They ordered it within days because it's doing so well, and it's just a joy. It's an old kind of retro revision of Attack of the 50-Foot Woman, and the script is so smart because it's all about cam girls and social media and hashtags,
Which
and
is
it's
stuff that's all happening
Exactly,
now.
but
the way
it's
the,
so
the
well
whole world
done.
Has
It
evolved
is
into,
so well done.
You know,
Yeah,
back in the
it's
day,
so well
you went
done.
to strip clubs. Now you go to campsites. I mean, it's just like all of that.
Exactly.
Yeah, and so many people are doing it that it's just like you don't want to.
I know.
You know, you got to do.
It's
your-
oversaturated now.
And, and I'm so excited about Bigfoot because
Right?
Bigfoot or Bust
Totally.
because it's I believe it's the first intentional Bigfoot comedy.
Really?
Yes, and it is hilarious. And I have a song that I co-wrote some of the lyrics and melody, and I sing it with Becky LeBeau, my gorgeous girlfriend who produced the movie, and she introduced me to Jim Wynorski. So that was pretty amazing. And now she's also in Attack. She's also in the sequel, and we're going to be doing lots more movies together, which is great.
That's awesome. What do you play in the Bigfoot or Bust? What's your role? Your character?
My role's name is Rusty Reddy.
Rusty ready?
And that's all I'm
amazing.
going to say about it because y'all just got to go say it.
I love
You
that
gotta
accent.
go see it. Remember the rules. No spoilers.
And you will love
right?
it. It's fabulous. fabulous.
Congratulations.
Yeah, it's really
I
fabulous.
can't wait to
Thank
see
you.
it.
Thank
That
you,
would be
thank you.
great.
And that comes out July 5th. But
Awesome.
Attack is out now, and I have a bunch of others on Amazon Prime and Tubi right now, too.
How do you feel coming out of the pandemic with
Well,
work?
I worked all the way through it, and it was super stressful at times, especially when you had to get tested 24 times
Yeah,
for
to
each
be on a
movie
movie
and
set.
to get in it and blah, blah, blah. And, you know, it was always in the back of your brain, are we staying safe? But I was very blessed. Everyone was very safe and very cool. And I shot like about 9 films, including one called Quarantine Girl, which is fabulous. And we shot it within days of the lockdowns when it was really in the heat of it. And it's just a time capsule of what the entire world shared about COVID. And I tell everyone to see it because it also has this wonderful twist at the end. It's about the mental illness thing about it before anyone was really talking about it. But everyone in it has kind of a double life. So I play a newscaster who's also a dominatrix.
Oh, wow.
Which was another great
That
role.
must be interesting.
Yeah, and that's on Amazon Prime and Tubi.
I want to see it for you alone on that one.
Yes,
Bottle
yes,
washer.
yes. And that's Gregory Hatanaka and Nicole D'Angelo, Cinna Ridge, Cinema Epic. So I'm really proud of that one, too. That's a good little movie that I'm in that everyone's been really loving
Wow, that's
also.
amazing.
By the way, I love that music for you did with Justin Bieber. I thought you was amazing.
Oh, thank you. It was so much fun. And that's really crazy. Okay, I just got back from Mexico, and I get a call from my manager that says, a director from England called you. His name's Emil Nava. And so I'm on my phone. I'm like, oh, my God, that's like the biggest musical video director like in the world, right? And she said, yeah, it's a music video. They won't say who it is, but they really want you. But you have to be there in 1 hour.
Wow.
So I got there, and when I got there, I thought, oh, this is going to be so cool. I'm going to, probably be playing one of the star, whoever the musician is, their mother, right? Because there were all these like little 18-year-olds all around me. The next thing I know, they say, oh no, you're going to be like the babe at the party with Ed Sheeran and Justin Bieber, and we want it really vague, and we don't want anyone to know. Like, we want it kind of generic, like they're going to guess, are you his sister, his date, whatever. And they picked me because I have red hair and freckles like Ed Sheeran, so they wanted it to like be similar.
They picked you
but
because you're amazing. And
thank you,
talented.
my darling. But I think
And
that
I
was
love
the first
it,
thing.
and I
It
love
turned
that.
out that the director did adore me, which was really great. And again, when you do a music video, they can edit it a million different ways. So I didn't tell anyone I was in it because I thought, am I
never
going to be in
know.
it for a split second? And the way they cut it, I'm literally the only girl in the whole video besides them. So it was pretty cool.
And how-
Congratulations. That's amazing.
How did you like working with Dustin Bieber?
Justin.
Justin, I'm sorry.
Oh,
Justin.
I loved
Justin
him, but I loved
Bieber.
Justin Bieber even better.
Right.
They were both absolute dolls. Now, it was all green
Did
screen.
you call him Dustin Bieber?
I love him.
I didn't catch
Wait,
the second
Rock-N-Sexxy. Well,
one. Right.
It was green screen on
It'll be out
purpose
next week on the latest.
to show isolation. So they weren't actually, he wasn't even really sitting next to me, but I met them all. So yeah, it was cool.
Speaking of music videos, Daniel DeCristio, he started out as a media personality, celebrity hairdresser.
Uh-huh.
He worked on all the A-list of
Jose
Hollywood.
Ibarra
Pamela
did me.
Anderson,
I used to work
Faye
with him.
Resnick.
Quiet Riot video.
He has done so much. Stevie Nicks, amazing people, amazing work. He was Jose Ibarra's protege. And then
That's so funny. I just brought him up.
I know.
while he
It's
was
true.
working on his dreams, now he's a recording artist. He's an actor. He has a new single out. He's been doing just amazing with his work. I told you, remember?
Yeah.
I told him you have to pursue your own.
Amber's always been there. She's always been my wind beneath my wings.
Yeah, I've just-
Seriously,
I've told
she
him
has.
pursue it because we're all doing something else while we're
But
pursuing.
you always have to pursue things also that are new and
Well-
scare you every year of your
You
life.
have to face your
Try
fears.
something else.
You have
I
to
know.
face your fears because even with putting yourself out there, or like you said, being hired on a video, because I was too with that Shun video, all of a sudden there you are,
Yes.
and it's all of a sudden you have a new kind of
Yes.
thing
with
going
that
on.
Shun video. What Shun video are you mentioning?
The Sky is Blue. And
oh, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
And that was something, and that was unbelievable because, like you said, with the editing, there I am, right? It's like this big part.
You never know.
So it's just, you have to know how to change hats and go with it all because I really didn't try to do these things. They kind of came to me a little bit. So I'm like, okay, let's try it out. Cool, let's do it. You know, if the deal's good or the opportunity. And acting and all that with movies and all
so
that.
how is Blondemic doing, though?
Blondemic's doing great.
Where's it available?
Blondemic's really doing great. It's on all the all the digital
That
platforms.
is the best title for a song.
He
I
calls
love
me
it.
up and he says, I'm going to do and I'm always interested in watching.
We were talking about the pandemic and
And
all
what
that.
style-
He says, I'm
music.
doing a new song.
Dance.
I have a new
Cool.
single. And I said, what's it called? And he said, Blondemic. And I was like,
Everyone boing. She was
I
like
can't
boing.
believe somebody didn't think of that
I
already.
know,
I can't
right?
believe somebody didn't put something out about
I
the
know.
pandemic already. That's
No, I was
amazing.
actually, I go exercising at night. That's what I do my
Next thing I
thing.
know, let me
Oh, go ahead. Go
finish,
for it. Go
please.
for it.
Next thing I know, I'm on my way to the gym. I'm back in LA again. I'm in West Hollywood, and I'm on my way to the gym. And I pull around the corner, and I look up, and boom! There's Daniel on this giant billboard. And I look, and I go, oh my God, somebody put a billboard up with Daniel.
I
So
love
I
it.
get on the car phone. I'm like, Daniel, there's a billboard of you up on Santa Monica Boulevard in the middle of Boys Town, right? And it's
Right
like,
over Mickey's. Right over Mickey's.
I love
He's
it.
like, and everybody's walking by looking up. Everybody's looking at it, right?
And you look great in it, Dan. You look
And
like
he
$1 million.
looked-
Thank you
It
very
was
much.
amazing, and it was a great place to
So
put your single
cool.
because it's dance music.
I love dance
right?
music.
Oh,
Do
yeah,
you-
because
do
I've
you
always done
consider it-
dance music. Yeah.
Do you consider it dance music?
Oh,
Is that
definitely.
What it's called?
Definitely.
Okay,
Definitely.
I wanted to make sure I said it right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Don't get to me later and be like,
I know,
"It's not
really.
dance
not what it
music,
was."
it's right." And
Yeah.
so, beautiful billboard. So I get on the phone on Daniel, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm like, I'm all like a proud, mother." I said, "There's a billboard." So I'm telling people that's my friend, and obviously,
I love it.
It's not the first time, but I just loved it that you went from pursued your dreams. You've got all this stuff going on now.
Mhm.
How do you feel?
I feel great because I'm doing things on a natural level, like my own timing.
Right.
I'm not being forced to do something. I'm not doing something that I'm trying to learn.
I think
I'm
you're
just
teasing
going into
everybody until you just
my own
come
way,
out. Right.
And
You
I
got a call
love.
coming in now. All right, you guys, the one we have been waiting to hear from. I told you earlier, LA icon Angelyne, queen of LA billboards since the 80s. She's a model, punk rock singer. She is an absolute legend. She is my friend. Let's please welcome her warmly to the show tonight, Angelyne.
Hi, Amber, darling. How are you?
I'm wonderful. Welcome to the show, Angelyne. How are you?
I'm great. I am driving, so
You're in the
that
pink
I'm gonna
Corvette.
be, driving during this whole interview.
That's wonderful. How you doing? So you have all kinds of stuff going on, girl. You ran for governor, or you were running for governor. The last time I talked to you, you were running for governor. Then I haven't talked to you for a little bit, and the next thing I hear, you have a TV series, and I'm looking at another one with a billboard up, and I'm like, that's my friend, Angelyne. And I go, no, it's not. Who's that? And it wasn't you. And I said, who hijacked Angelyne, her billboard? And so here you are. What do you have to say about this, girl? Do you want to talk about it?
We're going to talk about me, my self. Only I can do myself. Nobody can do me. Nobody can do you either, believe me.
Absolutely.
Right, Amber?
That's
Nobody
exactly
can do
what I
you.
say. Go ahead, sweetheart.
So, my documentary talks about the Billboard casting couch. Have you ever heard of that?
Me?
Yeah. Have
I
you
think
ever
I got
heard of a
famous on
Billboard
one.
casting
No, I'm
couch?
kidding. No, it talks about the Billboard casting couch.
Yeah, because, my billboards, I had to meet all these executives, and they were making all these crazy offers, like they wanted to undress me and give me all the billboards I wanted. And in my documentary, it tells you if I did or I didn't do it. Things like real personal things how I made it. All the difference of how my parents affected me sexually, how many men I swam to make it without giving in to anybody. Or maybe a couple give in, but they have to give back. I just have to find all that out. Really, really incredible, compelling, amazing film. And I'll be screening it at the Chinese Theater in June.
And what is it called? And what is it called?
Angelyne, the movie. Not the series, the movie.
Angeline, the movie. You know, I remember we talked about this some time ago. You and I were at the Rainbow, and I remember you saying that they were doing some kind of TV series. And I said, you know, about you, and that you were working on a documentary. So these are two totally separate things. Angeline, the movie that's coming out, her documentary, is Angeline's film and should be supported by all of her fans. The TV series that is out, the new bio-pic that's out on, I think it's the Peacock Network, and it stars Emmy Rossum, right?
Let's not advertise them, please.
Okay.
Let's not even talk about it. I'd rather talk about me.
Okay, absolutely.
And,
but it is a separate project, and she has one that she wants her fans to go and see. And when is the date? When are you premiering this?
It's towards the end of June at the Chinese Theater.
Okay.
And we'll let everybody know the exact date so they can come if they want to.
I would love to come. I'd be honored to come and support your project. You know that.
By the way, Angeline, we have a surprise here for you. A neighbor of yours.
I don't know if she'll remember.
You know, I'm going up a hill here. I can't understand what you're saying.
That's okay. Joe Williamson was just jumping in on the co-host seat here. He had something. So all of the fans can go to Angeline.com. She has a website. You update that regularly as to the project and what's going on with it, right? Okay.
Right. There's all kinds of goodies that you can buy as well. Some really sexy stuff.
Oh, she's got all kinds of goodies. She's got, you know, I was out with her one night and we went, this is a funny story. We went to Cantor's. I think it was Cantor's. Me and Angeline getting out at Cantor's. We're like, let's go have some whatever at Cantor's. We get out of the car and they surround her.
Totally.
The minute they see that
They're throwing money at me.
Can I say that? Talk about the pink Corvette, or is that off limits too?
The Corvette? My Corvette?
Yeah. So you had just gotten your brand new car, another new car. She had just gotten the new one, so we went out to celebrate. We went to Cantor's. Anyway, they surrounded the car. She's in the back with the top open. They're just taking. She's got all this swag, amazing T-shirts, keychains, everything. There was something for everybody, and they were just taking all this swag out of her hands. And I was like, this woman is one of the most brilliant businesswomen I have ever met.
Totally, she is.
And they were so happy.
I was sold out.
Right?
Wasn't I, Amber? Sold out. Yeah.
She sold out of all of it, and there were people that even wanted more. And we went into the restaurant because we were there to just, have a piece of pie and some coffee together as girlfriends. And they were coming into the restaurant.
We got some delicious cookies, chocolate chip, yummy.
Just hanging out as girlfriends. And they kept coming to the window and they wanted more stuff, and all this stuff was going on. And I said, such a brilliant, brilliant businesswoman. I'm so glad to have you on the show, and I'm so glad that you came on to talk about, your project, the project that you want your fans to endorse. Of course, our fans love us, and they want to endorse or buy or purchase or support our own project. So it's good for you to talk about this. And I didn't know, to be honest, that there was two separate movies going on.
You said you saw her, and she looks nothing like me. She's not me. I'm Angeline, and I'm the one that inspired people to be themselves. I'm the real leader, and I know.
Funny quick
What's
story
the real
on
leader
that. When I first moved back to LA from Las Vegas about in September, I was coming down Sunset Boulevard and I saw her pink Corvette to the left in the Tower Records parking lot. So, of course, you know, Angeline is a friend of mine. We know each other well. We're girlfriends. And I roll my window down and I'm like, Angeline, and we went, I'm back. I wave my hand. And then she's looking at me with this blank face. And I'm like, what are you doing, bitch? It's me. Right? You know how you do with one of your, right? And she just keeps looking at me with this blank look on her face. And as I drove away, I thought, that's not Angeline. Somebody hijacked Angeline. Somebody's driving her car. They're wearing her look.
Amber.
Yes.
Angeline's pretty, and that girl is not.
And
Maybe
then,
it was a drag queen. I'm not sure.
and then I
Sure
looked,
with her?
right? And then I looked up and I saw the billboard and I said, that is not her. You know, the thing that people miss about my friend Angeline is that she has this magic. She is this amazing human being. She's like a deity, you know. People love to gather around her. She shares love. She has like white light and everywhere she goes. She's just such a sweet person. She helps all these people. And I think they miss that. They miss that in the project. So I'm really glad to hear that you have your movie coming out. I can't wait to see it. Yes, we would love to support your premiere and have you on the show to talk about it when you're ready. Okay?
Right. I'll let you know when the premiere is, and then I'll call in one more time to let y'all know when to show up. You're going to love it. It's compelling. You won't be able to stop watching it.
I love you, darling. I love you. Is it you want to talk about your social media links so we can let you go so you can focus on your driving? Where do your fans follow you?
Yeah. Well, it's official Angelyne on Instagram and Facebook as well. And then, like I said, Angeline.com. They can get goodies and be transformed.
And be transformed. I love you, girl. Thank you for joining the show tonight. And I will.
Good luck. Love
All
you
right.
too.
Love you. Have a wonderful night. Bye-bye. That was Angeline.
Wow.
The sound was a little bit wanky, so I didn't want to go into another. She couldn't hear Joe when
No
Joe was
problem.
trying to ask her a question. So anyway, so you guys
Angeline's
were once
unbelievable.
neighbors.
Yes, we were neighbors in a fabulous building on Larrabee, right up above Sunset.
Oh, that's right.
Yes.
That's right.
And she was so sweet and kind to me because I had never done my own laundry before. And I was making a mess of it, about ready to ruin all my clothes. And she just went, just give it to me. I'll help you do this. And she did. It was quite sweet.
So what's going on in the future here, guys? Let's see. We have just a few minutes left. I can't believe the time goes so fast. Let's talk about what you want to promote, your social media links.
Oh, you can reach me, Lisa London LA, on Instagram, and I'm on Facebook as well. I don't do anything else. I don't Twitter, and I don't tick or talk. I'm too busy. I have the two.
I'm
and
a
that's it.
known tweeter.
And of course, IMDb Pro, the International Movie Database. It's basically, that's my website because every single trailer I have out of every movie that I've got going on currently is on there. All my credits are on there. A gazillion photographs are on there, and it seems like word of mouth is how I've been getting everything from one project to the other, which I'm very blessed and grateful for. And everyone, please watch Attack of the 50-Foot Cam Girl. I guarantee you will love it.
I'm going to love to see that.
And also, get ready for Bigfoot or Bust, and that's July 5th.
Bigfoot or Bust.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
That's going to be really fun.
And if you look me up on Amazon Prime or Tubi, you can just put in your actors' names on there. You'll see all the films that I have going on right now.
Awesome. Anything else, Joe?
No, I was going to say, could you tell us about Michael Bay? I know you work with him. And
Yes, I starred in a commercial campaign for HBO before HBO was the famous biggest cable channel like in the world, and it was to make people aware of the channel. And I was on the cover of USA Today, and it was just such a successful campaign. Michael Bay directed it because it literally transformed a business like nothing else in history ever had. They became a superstar station overnight because they said the ad campaign was that successful. And it starts off with me, and I say, and I don't eat meat because I'm a veterinarian. Because I'm supposed to be this hot girl, but she's so dumb that you don't want to go out. You just stay home and watch HBO.
That's amazing.
I love that video.
I know, it's pretty
commercial.
fun.
Daniel.
Yes,
You're
darling.
just sitting over there being quiet. He's never this quiet.
Oh, no, I'm just kidding. So what's up? What's up?
Well, what do you got? What do you got?
Okay,
what do you
well.
want to talk about?
Social media is always my name, Daniel DeCristio, DanielDeCristio.net.
Daniel's always got stuff out on social media. You got to
But
follow him.
I have a movie I'm going to be filming at the end of next month called Old Man Jackson, and you may know them. I don't know.
We've done a lot of talking
And-
about a lot of his previous films.
Yeah, with Michael Musto and that whole crowd in New York with Vampire's Chase and Japanese Borscht and all that. So, yeah, but also my music, and I'm also with product lines because of hair, of course. You know, you got the hair.
Hair, of course.
It's all about the hair.
Gotta flip it,
But
baby.
exactly.
Hair is fun.
yeah,
It's
but
innocent fun now. you
Hair is
know?
a great thing, and
In
I'll
a
never
land
cut
of all
mine.
these tattoos, you know.
No,
I know.
yeah.
Never.
But
I've wanted to do one a million times, and then I know myself. I'm so fickle about what I
don't
love
like
or don't love
tattoos.
about clothes that I'm like, wait, if I put something on my body and don't want it, then I gotta go through the whole.
Yeah, but if it goes out of fashion or it goes out of style, then I'm
Exact-
going to want to like claw it off my body.
Exactly. That's why I
because,
haven't done it.
Then
Yeah.
also the fashion shows, you know, the runway shows I've been doing.
He's
More
been doing
coming up.
lots of fashion shows and
Yeah,
runway
runway.
shows. I love the way he's stepping out. He does all of this stuff that
Oh,
you
yeah.
know
New
that
York
most
Fashion Week, LA
people
Fashion
are
Week.
like afraid to be seen. He's done what's this? It's an androgynous. Right? Is
Androgynous,
it called
trans,
androgynous?
All of that.
Right?
Yeah.
Comes out. Well, no, it's not trans because trans is makeup. You know, there's a makeup where it's
No, it's transgender.
it's full female.
Transgender, meaning non-binary and all that. I
Okay.
walked for them, and I was the celebrity opener and closer for them.
I loved that. He had this thing that was like a suit, and then it had a dress. It was so classic.
I thought it was great. I was
would
like,
have
wow.
worn it. Absolutely. I would have worn it. People always ask me if I'm trans and I'm like, what? You say tranny like a bad thing.
I know, really.
Right? Some of my best friends are trans people, and they're beautiful, beautiful, you know. And I look at them and go, they try to say things that are like, you know, like there's something wrong with it. And I go,
yeah.
I'm beautiful. I'm just me, you know.
I like
whatever
people,
I
so
am.
for
I'm
me, I like
Amber Lynn.
everybody. I like people.
Right?
That's it. I don't care.
I love all people. I love the world with all its shapes and colors and sizes.
Oh, yeah, it makes it
And how
interesting.
boring would it be if we
Genders
were
and
all the
ethnicities,
same?
And I'm a very curious, open person,
me too.
and love to have them on the show. And I think that's what makes us, you know, different people that get along with bigger, diverse groups of people at the same time.
Amber, a smart person, can get along with anybody.
What about your
Absolutely.
social media links? Let's hit them.
Daniel DeCristio, everything. All of it.
Do
Just
it again.
Daniel DeCristio, exactly. And my website, DanielDeCristio.net. And if you want Blondemic t-shirts, you can buy them at the website.
You are listening to us live on Rock-N-Sexxy Radio on the UBNGO Network tonight. I want to thank everybody for joining us in the house. Joe Williamson.
Thank you so much.
The co-host. I want to thank beautiful Lisa London for
Thank you, beautiful Amber
coming on the
Lynn.
show. I would love to have you on the show again sometime.
Absolutely.
Daniel DeCristio.
I'll see you tomorrow.
I'll see you tomorrow. And all our guests for joining the show tonight. Follow us on our social media links at Rock-N-Sexxy U and Rock-N-Sexxy UnCensored.com.
Peace out.
Thank you for tuning in to Amber Lynn's Rock-N-Sexxy UnCensored, available on Rock-N-Sexxy UnCensored.com. Don't forget to hit us up on all your favorite social media links and tune in next week for another amazing episode of Rock-N-Sexxy UnCensored.